Hello everyone. Putting out there now, my legs are a little bit sore. In fact, my whole body is pretty sore from a little body weight workout. We call it a gym session if it's not in the gym. What do we call it? Off the bike workout, let's call it. Oh, and I did 45 seconds max efforts today, this morning. So my legs are all a bit worse for wear. Basically did a session yesterday morning, a session last night, obviously a Zwift race, and then a session this morning and a session tonight, so that's 4 sessions in 2 days. Zach, how you doing? I haven't seen you in a while. You too, Maximus, nice to see you. Joe, are you new here? Forgive me if I haven't seen your name around. Nothing conventional, Lord. Nothing conventional. I like to be a little bit weird when I do stuff off the bike, because I get bored quite easily. So things like using like plates that aren't that heavy, like 2 kilos, and just kind of like doing a plank and moving the plates away and bringing them toward me, and kind of lifting them up. So I'm kind of working stabilization as well as movement, which is different because the hill climbs I'm now training for the next kind of month need a completely different physiology to well, the Pollock hill climb, for example. So I need to turn myself as much as possible into a rider that I've not done before, so I've not been before, rather. Ah, nice one, Joe. Ah, no worries, Zach. I hope it's going well anyway. No, not Walbury. Yeah. I'm racing. Yeah, Newbury Vale are organising, isn't they? Yeah, I'm doing that one. Staying over near Newbury, and we're going to be doing that the next day. I'm doing the Tickr event on Saturday on the Nationals course. Video dropping tomorrow of me explaining a little bit about the National Hill Climb Championships this year, if you fancy watching that. So yeah, evening, thanks Lord. By the way, I've dropped a link down below in the description. 2 things. One of them is the actual Zwift Power event, so if you want to see who's racing in this and you want to see the course, you can check that out down below. Plus, there's also a link in there to the Zwift Community Live. So our good mate Nathan and Dave are live streaming, and they usually do a commentary. It's usually first class, and they might mention me a few times maybe, so sometimes it's a little bit better. Sometimes what a lot of people like to do, for those of you that are new here, they have one screen with me just on here and muted, and then they have Nathan and Co for the commentary, so they can get a little bit more of a feel for the race. Just a little insider tip there. I'll see you there, Will. Yeah. That's right, Messinao's in there. Brett Boniface again. Hodges. Yeah, there's quite a few riders from last night actually. Phil Rich, you still in the chat? I've just had an email from Training Peaks saying that your new threshold power value is 635. Oh, hi Natty, thank you. I was just saying, Phil, I had an email from Training Peaks from you via Training Peaks saying that your new threshold power is like 635. Spike. Awesome. I was rather hoping we could leave it there. See if you could manage any workout with an FTP of 635. You'd be surprised how many people are in your situation, Joe. If I'm just here to provide that like 5 minutes worth of inspiration for you to jump on the bike yourself, then that's a success from my point of view. Not really feeling this, I have to say. $73 of you watching already. Don't forget to hit that like button. Share it if you know of anybody, quite literally buddy, not body, who would enjoy watching this. Think of it like this, Joe. I mean, you can eat the Jaffa cakes as long as you get on the bike. Cheers, Sam. Ooh, a bit of Sail by AWOL Nation. Yeah, Phil, you can give me some tips and pointers then. No pressure. Hey Douglas, you change your name, DJ Hunter, I'm guessing. Hey Dale, all good, thank you. Not much space to freewheel on this course either, is there? Pretty much full gas all the way around. But you never know what could happen on this course, you never know. Aha, Bryn has arrived. Announced his presence. How's North Wales, Bryn? Alright, here we go. Bryn's just in time. Roger that, Phil. Thank you very much. Thanks everyone. Just join in. I can see you. Huge group, yeah. It's like a road race, 153 riders. Good talking ride. Yeah, it is a proper peloton. so quick. Taking me a while to warm up as well. Feel absolutely crap. Which usually is good. Go BRT. Sorry, Nails. No, they're not, Mick. I didn't even know it was on, and the qualifiers are actually conflicted with the hill climbs. Why am I having to go so hard? This race is going to be over quick. Ooh, bunch up. What do you mean a lower league? Get to the front, yeah. Use these strings out. Zach Herod is in the race. Zach was just in the chat at the start of the event. Probably still is in the chat actually. Give us a shout out, Zach. I have no idea, Mick. No idea. To be honest, I can't really concentrate on that right now. I'm National Hill Climb Champ at the end of the day. Definitely, Lord, definitely. Yeah, we don't have 6 riders at race. Will you have me on loan? Not BRT. Yeah, definitely, Mick, definitely. But you know, I can't commit. You all know I'll be competitive, so it's not like I think to prove. Cheers, Ryan. I've got a ride on these, yeah. Hi, good Victor. Oh, it's raining here, Phil. It's raining here. How's it going over on Zwift Community Live? Anybody watching? Evening, Phil and Jane, remember? Jane's there. Proud of you, Phil. Definitely, Victor, definitely. That's Chris, it's about to get a bit more colourful. Here we go. between 50 and 75% semi. Depends how I feel on the day. Stringing out, guys, just stringing out. Yeah, I don't know who does like this bit, to be honest. Like, especially when the group this big. Like the people on the back. So I can string up like crazy. Points to the top. Hard to that, DJ. I'll be on alert. Definitely nails. Yeah, I know how. So I purposefully didn't go down there, because why would I? It's split, which is what I wanted. Brilliant. Time to reboot. There's not many in this front group now, considering how many there were at the start. It's pretty mad how one climb, well, not even a climb, let's be honest. What is it, 2k at 3%? Come on. Well, this is definitely the front group now. I suppose it depends how slow you go up the climb. Obviously the slower you go, the longer the climb is. Oh, Scott's driveway is like the Alpe d'Huez. That's where I'm at. Fan is now on full power. Cheers, pal. E equals MC squared. Look at this on other Zwifting streams like physics and everything else. How can it become more difficult? Add another set on. I mean, you could up the intensity of the 50s by a tiny bit, tiny bit, but more than likely you're better off upping the intensity of the off of the 30 seconds. So instead of doing like 50% of FTP, do 60%. It's actually really good because eventually you might be able to get to like 75% of FTP. I'd say that's the cut off, to be honest, because you know, if you start going up to 80%, 90%, you're not going to be able to go like 135% of FTP for 50 seconds. And, sometimes it's as simple as that, George. Just add another set. I've got a guy who does time trialing, and he's training for the 25 mile time trials, and most of the time, say if we did a 50-30 session, he would end up doing basically, you know, 5 sets of them. He doesn't, but I'm just saying as an example, because that would give the effect of an hour. 150% is good. What on earth is that, Niels? Actually, right on top of it. Oh, trying to recover from that little sprint now. So there's no use attacking here. See you, John. Yeah, pace is so high now. No point in attacking, but we'll see. There are certain periods when it lulls. $44k an hour, so hi, everybody. Hey, Tim. $50k an hour, is that what we're up to? Come on, come on. try and recover a bit. Yeah, they're looking good, Bryn, fair play. Good riding. Strong little group. Wow, that was a bead of sweat. Just chopped up my forehead. You like the sweet spot flows, Tim? That's good. Hey, dude, how you doing? Yeah, come on, Zach. Yeah, snails. It's all about that. Oh. Hi, Bella. You can tell the pace is a lot easier this lap than the last lap. Just by the colour of the graph there, the green and the blue. And the speed, really. %, Weller, yeah, 100%. I don't know yet if it's long or sprint. Thanks, Eddie. You too. I see you. I see you. See yourself. Thank you, Bella. Thank you. It's not always plain sailing, Bill. Oh. Yeah, it'll be hard to the Grove, yeah, you're right. Well, there's a little move off the front. Missed that one. Don't think I'll join it though. No, I'm not going to join it here. Who is it? Drift to the front. See who it is. Still running for Wahoo, yeah, that's right. Who is it? Who is it? Ooh, it's a World Elite Drifter rider. I'll drift back again now. They're actually brilliant, Robin. I don't know what you're talking about. They were top draw tactics. It's just, you know, the player let you down. Niels, I think if Zwift allowed for solo tags, we'd see a lot more race wins. We'd also see a lot more like 1s and 2s coming into the finish. That's right. Well, it is Mick if it's a big bunch like this. He's coming back, isn't he? Well, he's not coming back. He's like hovering. Sure, a lot of people with nails, to be honest, yeah. Alright, keep an eye on this. Keep an eye on this. don't know, Bella. Outdoors is the same, George. It's a lot of zone 1 in every road race, really. I've no idea, Stuart. I'm willing to try something. Come on. Stop sitting in. Boring. Boring. We don't have a plan B, it's always plan A. That's how we roll. Look at this, if I could sit in and recover here, like, so is everybody else. They're all just as fit as me, surely. Like, I'm being serious. That's true, Michael. Maybe I should do the ladies' race. It's the same in real life though, isn't it? Like the women throw out the textbook and they race with a tact. The men's racing is just like, let's just sit in and like wait and be all tactical. Edwina, come through. Cheers, mate. Go smash it. Give me in. Probably 1k now. Not enough to split it, look. Too easy. Relatively speaking, yeah. yeah, Max's Everest attempt was decent. I thought he would have done it, to be honest, given his caliber, but maybe he didn't calculate it or give it like the full respect it was due, I don't know. But his back gave out. It's pretty much neutralized. And now it's all in the descending, isn't it? I'll definitely give it a go, the Everest in, but I'm going to give it a go on my terms when I want to do it. Because I have been pressured into doing it and I'm like, no, I'm doing it for my reasons, not everybody else's. Plus we don't have anywhere local to do it, so I'd have to travel. And I'd also like to do it when we haven't got like people not allowed to be there. Yeah, that's right, yeah, too tiring, yeah. Okay, so it's a big group now, coming into the finish. So do we wait for the sprint? I mean, where else is there to go really? What do you guys think? Yeah, true, Robin. Oh, cheers, Phil. I'd like to have the right kind of setup as well, so you know, we'd actually like live stream it and all that kind of stuff. Nah, it's too shallow, guys. It needs to be a dead straight bit of road as well. It needs to be like 14% at least. When you say go long, how long do you actually mean? I won't get that PB, Lord. Not the way I feel. I mean, we can give it a go if you want to see it, but you know, my race is now in your hands. No, Paul Lock's too shallow. I haven't even looked, to be honest. I don't even want anything to do with Everesting until I'm ready to do it. So I'm not even going to look. Cheers, Phil. The ride on. Yeah, traffic's an issue. too easy for them. You know, last night, by the way, last night I was second last in the race last night because I threw the dice and I nearly won, but I took the risk because I can't cope with the big guys in the sprint, so that's how you do it if you're not a sprinter. Oh, if that was a volcano, where I am. See you guys. Thanks for coming. Well, that's the whole idea, and then we give it a go. And you know, when we get like 100,000 subscribers on YouTube, we'll be able to say to Zwift, look, you need to change your game because we have enough clout now to say that. Or maybe they know that if they change the graphics, then just a lot of people won't win anymore. Just spit the truth. I'm sorry if it offends people. Anyway, so have a look. What do you think the TSS is going to be? Come on then. TSS guess. It was 44 yesterday, was it? Was it 44? Yeah, they'll do it like 99% of the time, Stuart, to be honest. A lot of them will do it like out of tactics, a lot of them will do it out of fear because they think they're going to blow, but like, guys, like if you're watching this and you just race that, like you've got to have more faith in yourself. Like you can attack and it's not going to take anything out of you. Like you can sit in, have faith in the blob. Do you know what I'm saying? If I was uphill tonight, I could have put on a real good show for you. As you know, we have absolutely smoked the competition. But it's good for me to go up against people who can just smoke me on the flat, or at least in a sprint, because it makes them feel good. It makes me feel good when I go uphill, so you've got to give them their dues. So have a look. Let's have a look. TSS is going to be $62. So obviously a little bit harder than last night, but then again it was longer, so you've got to have faith in the blob. Like when you like practice riding in the blob, I mean, like, you know, if I sat in the blob there now the whole race and like just sprinted at the end, probably would have had like a TSS of like 35, like 35, 40. But a few little stabs, like 30 seconds, a minute, a couple of stabs throughout the course, and then that big one at the end. You know, it does add up. You know, it does add up. So let's have a look at the critical power. Is not going to be like anything to write home about. Do you reckon, Robin? They're mostly A's. Well, I mean, the thing is, you encounter this in real life. I'll just explain. Those of you that want to listen, you don't have to, but like most of the time I spend, you know, if I want to save energy, I'll just like surf the back of the blob, and it won't be like, you know, it won't be any trouble at all. Just like Messi, just like Alex West, you know, you just float, and you can do like at least 1 watt per kilo lower than everybody else sometimes. But it's important to realize that like when you compare like Zwift racing to outdoor racing, it's actually very similar. Hey David, how you doing? Nice to have you in here. When you compare like Zwift racing to outdoor racing, it's actually very similar, and I'll tell you why. A lot of people, I was taught this. If any young viewers are watching now, I was taught that if you see a strong rider in a group, in a bunch, they will nearly always use their strengths to get to the front. If it's a crosswind, if it's a climb, they'll just go up the side of the group and they'll just get to the front. They won't learn positioning. And in order to be a strong rider and to be able to learn positioning in a race and in a group, you have to put yourself in that position, like in the first front of the group. Even if you have to push wind sometimes. If you have to push wind and ride out of the wheels, even at the risk of you blowing, you're learning how to ride at the front of that group. The mistake a lot of people make is they become so strong that they rely on their strengths, and they always sit at the back and then they move up at the last second. It doesn't count as Zwift racing because you can just move straight up a group. But what I'd say is for a lot of people, they will sit in, even if they're on their limit here in these races, and fair enough if you're absolutely on your limit, but if you're like half a watt per kilo below your FTP, think of the benefits long term of you giving it a go on a climb, or just trying to create a gap or pressure in some place. What you're doing is even though you are animating the race and you are in effect creating a big risk that you might blow, you are pushing yourself to be in that position. And when you are in that position enough times, you learn how to manage your effort, you learn how hard you can go up a climb, and when you get to like my position, you can actually push really hard up the climbs, and then still, when the group catches you in a very difficult section, you can still sit in and recover. That's the gold standard. But we can't sit in groups and get stronger, because you'll just keep getting unless you're a sprinter, you'll just keep getting top 20s or top 30s, and nobody wants that. People want to animate races. They want to be able to say that they gave it a go. And so what do you say if a sprinter joined a climber race and a climber joined a flat race and sprinter tested up? What I'd say with a sprinter in a hilly race, for a start, Damon, a sprinter wouldn't enter a hilly race on Zwift. They just wouldn't, unless there's a chance of them getting to the finish. A sprinter in a hilly race on Zwift, if I was a sprinter, I would try to form a break before I get to the climb. Even if it's only 5 or 10 seconds, still gives you 10 seconds, still gives you 5 seconds. That in effect is what Sagan or Sam Bennett would do on a hilly stage where they try to get sprint points. It's the same thing, but you've got to take that risk. You can't just, if you sit in with a group as a sprinter, you'll just get dropped. So, well, unless you're not an out-and-out sprinter, obviously. I mean, I think sprinter is becoming like a rather weird term in a minute. You see, I can't fathom how Caleb Ewan and these guys are getting dropped in the Tour de France so early on some days. I mean, I've raced against Caleb a number of times. And it's, it is likely fatigue and things like that, but I just wonder how low their watts per kilo has to be to really, really struggle on those climbs. Obviously they can climb, they've still got a higher FTP than a lot of us, but it's still mind-boggling. It shows obviously the level of climbers, but it does make you question at what level are those? 100% Ian, 100%. The vast majority of folk are neither climbers or sprinters. Yeah, you're right. But I think really people need to start to step out of that, because the reason why the vast majority of people are climbers and or sprinters is, the vast majority of people are neither climbers or sprinters is because climbers usually require a high level of VO2 max effort or a high level of being able to work at or above threshold, and sprinters obviously have a great max power, but they're also able to repeat it. A lot of people don't fall into either of those categories. Why? Because they spend too much time doing unstructured training and just jumping on the bike and going really hard, and for a couple of hours, and that ends up being kind of mediocre, and so they end up being mediocre. They don't specialize, and just like I'm doing now, where I'm trying to go like from somebody who can do 400 watts for 20 minutes to somebody who now needs to be able to do 600 watts for 2 minutes. That's the kind of, so sometimes it only takes a month for you to specialize, for you to realize that, oh, actually, like, I might be able to do this, I might be able to be a good climber. And that's it as well, Ian. Like, people often do a lot of racing, as in I see a lot of club cyclists around by me who do a lot of Zwift racing, but they're not fit enough to kind of get the training benefit out of it, if that makes any sense. So they end up going very hard for the whole duration, and not having this kind of, like me, it's very kind of zone 1, zone 2, and then really high end, and then zone 1, zone 2, and really high end. So yeah. Wow, that was well, you're 100% right, Fast Life, you're 100% right. So right now I'm trying to change my whole like mentality and physiology. I'm trying to be able to do 600 watts for, let me put it this way, right? This is crazy. I'm gonna end on this. So right now I'm able to do like between 6.8 and 7 watts per kilo for 20 minutes. Okay. But here's the crunch line, or the crunch point rather. My best like 1 minute power is like 10 watts per kilo. 11 watts per kilo actually. 660 watts. My best like 2 minute is like 9.5. Look how small of a drop off there is between my 2 minute power and my 20 minute power. It's like 2 watts per kilo. Now, granted, not a lot of people can say that, but that shows how kind of badly skewed my power graph is. And it's not bad. I mean, yes, obviously I can do 11 watts per kilo for a minute, which is still, relatively good, but it's not, amazing. So it's interesting how we're all different. It's interesting how we all have our strengths. But I'm incredibly, I find it incredibly hard to work my 1 and 2 minute power, for example. And it really does hurt. And I really do struggle with it. But that's what I'm working on now for the next month. And it's, if it comes to the point where, I obviously lose that 7 watts per kilo, 20 minute type of number, or just less than 7 watts per kilo, obviously, then so be it, because, that's what you have to train for. You have to specialize. You don't specialize all the time, but you specialize the closer you get to the event. So, it's highly likely though, that me not training my 2 minute or 1 minute effort and then all of a sudden training my 1 and 2 minute effort is highly likely to bring quite a good improvement in such a short, quite a short space of time. Yeah, I've seen that, David. I've seen that, yeah. Yeah, 1,000 watts per minute. Yeah, it's massive. I'm actually going to mention Callum in tomorrow's video. It hurts in a different way, Lord. Yeah, it hurts in a completely different way. you know, you'd probably think that, you know, me doing, you know, 6.8 to 7 watts per kilo for 20 minutes hurts. But yes, it hurts. But when you're good at something and it hurts, it feels good. When you're mediocre at something and it hurts, there's something there that like makes it feel worse than what it is. So yeah. But yeah, that video with Callum Brown's also, I mean, his bike sub 5 kilo, it's legit fire. But yeah, I mean, we're gonna see how close we can get to. I mean, we don't need 1,000 watts, David. Like, I don't need 1,000 watts for a minute to compete with Callum Brown. You know, I need like 700 and something, 700. Well, to be fair, I can't compete with Callum Brown over a minute. Like, let's be real. I can compete with him, I think, over 2 minutes, because of the power drop off. I may not have a big enough peak, but I may not drop off as much in terms of power. So it's all interesting stuff, but I'll talk about it tomorrow in a video that's going to be pretty interesting about this year's National Hill Climb Champs. So it'll just be a short one, but I'm sure you'll get a lot of insight about the National Hill Climb Champs, because you know, I think it doesn't get a lot of media coverage beforehand. I mean, the climb does, but I'm actually going to talk about like what I think power numbers people are going to do, what I think it's going to take to win it, that sort of thing. So yeah. Cheers, Dan. That was ways the same as a small child. Yeah, if you're good at it, then you're already training so much, you've gotten used to the pain compared to being new and you're moderate. Interesting, Victor. I mean, it's still hard, like, you know, training never gets easier, so it's still hard. Anyway, enough of the chat. Thank you so much for watching and keeping me company again. I'm bound to see you soon. Well, in fact, I'll see you tomorrow. So, enjoy your evenings. Theo, thoughts of compression recovery socks. Do I use them? I do, but mate, I gotta be honest. I think they're more like for the head than for the body. The jury is out on their benefit. I use them, but very rarely. Like maybe when after I've travelled. Not when I'm like, not daily when I'm training. I don't use them. So cheers, Ben. Thanks, Zach. Oh, and good job on your top 10. I think it was. Good job. I'll see you soon. Thanks for watching, guys. Cheers. Compression socks on your head. Get out of here.